fireworks and symphonies exploding in the sky. With you, I'm alive. Like all the missing pieces of my heart, they finally collide. So stop time right here in the
In 1907, a substance that changed human life was invented. That is plastic. Light in texture, easy to possess, and cheap in price. Plastics have penetrated into every area of our daily life, bringing great convenience to people, as well as huge negative impact at the same time. Generally speaking, plastic will first harm to agriculture. The accumulation of waste plastic products in the soil will affect the absorption of nutrients and moisture for crops, resulting in reduced crop production. Secondly, harm to animals. Waste plastic products discarded on land or in water are swallowed by animals as food, causing the death of animals. Finally, harm to the environment. Landfill of waste plastics will not only occupy a large amount of land, but also affect the sustainable use of land, since the occupied land will not be recovered for quite a long time. Besides, plastic bags are made from petroleum, which not only consume a lot of resources, but also cannot be decomposed. Moreover, the land and rivers will be contaminated if buried underground. There are still many unknown hazards, and the following is further illustration as a chosen case in point. Next, I will mainly spotlight on the hazards to marine life, according to Science Insider. There are 8 million tons of plastic in the oceans, and the biggest accumulation is the Pacific garbage patch.
The world produces enough plastic each year to build 50 pyramids of Giza. That's over 350 million tons of candy wrappers, PVC pipes, and synthetic t-shirts. While most of it ends up in landfills, 8 million tons of plastic winds up in our oceans each year, where most of it finds its way into massive garbage patches around the world. And the biggest of them all is called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
The Pacific garbage patch is 2 times the size of Texas. And plastics last for centuries.
It's actually been growing exponentially larger for nearly 70 years. Partly because once the plastic is there, it'll stick around for centuries. Those plastic fishing lines, for example, will take 600 years to break down.
Eventually, they break down into micro pieces that are eaten by fish, and then we eat the fish. If we don't change our use of plastics, by the year 2050, the amount of plastics in the oceans will weigh more than all the world's fish combined. The waste plastic crisis has posed a threat to the human, animals, and ecological balance, so we must take immediate action to reduce or alleviate the detriments caused by plastics. As I know, there are some bans issued by UK, US, and Canada.
If you've been to your local Sobeys lately, you've likely noticed those signs in the parking lot about the plastic bags being done away with at the end of the month.
Giving you lots of heads up in this. So in a week's time, Sobeys will be eliminating all plastic bags from their locations.
For countries that have not yet issued similar bans, I hope that the governments could pay more attention to address the problem. As populace, we ourselves should also gradually reduce the use of plastics in our lives.
Cut out plastic straws. Use stainless steel or card ones instead. Bring a reusable carrier bag with you instead of relying on plastic ones. Pack meals in reusable containers. Invest in reusable bottles for drinks instead of using plastic bottles or takeaway cups. And here's a surprising one. Stop chewing gum. It's made of synthetic rubber, which is a type of plastic. So remember, your plastic picks can make a change.
Furthermore, research shows that recycling and reproducing of waste plastics is a very complicated and costly project.
Mechanical recycling is not very effective. It's a lot harder than most people think. Really the challenge is seeing how inexpensive you can make this process.
So, I hope that we should not stop the pace of related research and work hard for a better future for our own planet. Frankly, plastic has almost become an indispensable thing in our lives, and it's difficult for us to adapt to the life without plastic products at once. However, through everyone and everyday's efforts, we could make the environment better and healthier bit by bit. The ocean world in particular. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So let's start with carrying a nice cloth bag to the grocery or supermarket. Just do it!